Hey guys, this is host Adi and welcome back to Comic Space. And of course, Marvel Studios blew everyone's mind with the Avengers Doomsday cast announcement and broke some literal records with that 5.5 hours long live stream for sure. But again, we are going to be going back to that because as a lot of the new updates that have surfaced, that Marvel Studios have probably left us some clues about what they were planning to do with Avengers Doomsday and some of these cast announcement, especially talking about Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto in Avengers Doomsday and what they are planning with his character, and he's going to be quite crucial when it comes to the storyline of Doomsday, when it comes to Secret Wars, and is he going to be joining forces with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, which is going to be a heck of a team up, which again the whole rumor world has been starting to buzzing around that Marvel Studios can potentially introduce Magneto's Brotherhood. My mind definitely have gone in that direction that Marvel Studios is going to be introducing Magneto in not in much of an heroic way or in some sort of an anti-hero thing, because I think Magneto always has his own kind of point of view on everything pretty much, and he's going to be in quite a key player because of course being one of the biggest mutant characters that we are going to be getting introduced. One of the major things to talk about here, we are going to be seeing an incursion event with Avengers Doomsday, which of course it looks to be 616 and 1005. I'm considering this X-Men universe that we are going to be seeing in Avengers Doomsday and the universe that we saw in Deadpool and Wolverine are exactly the same one. All of these characters are technically coming from the original X-Men trilogy and not having any ties with X-Men First Class, Dark Phoenix, X-Men Apocalypse and all of that rebooted timeline. However, X-Men Days of Future Past, I think it is going to be in one pivotal moment in the whole X-Men history that we have been seeing that Marvel Studios is going to be trying to connect some dots to, because they already did with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness at some level, quite an intricate point in the X-Men history.
This to us. Not if we show them a better path. You still believe? Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, it doesn't mean they're lost forever.
Cannot trust him.
I believe we can. Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever.
And I think when it comes to that, when the incursions are going to be happening all over the multiverse, and I think it is also in quite a crucial concept that Russo brothers and Kevin Feige and Stephen McFeely and all of that creative group can play with. All of our heroes are going to be faced with a major morality constraint because one or the both of the universe gets destroyed in an incursion event. Are you going to save your own world? Because you definitely cannot save both of them. So I think it does comes to the point of do or die situation for all of these heroes. One or the other universe is not exactly going to be surviving, and I think that Marvel Studios can play with very well, and Russo brothers can really play with that concept for sure, and how all of the dynamics of the characters are going to be working out. And of course, having Magneto being part of your story and being in such a major X-Men character, he probably would have a very different point of view and how he would make sure the survival of his universe, of his reality, which again Doctor Doom of course is not going to be villain, at least in his own eyes. I think they're probably gonna go in that route, and I think he's going to be very much looking at himself as much as a savior, as he's going to try to salvage as much as universes and building his own battleground. He's going to try to save it in a way, or at least in his eyes he's trying to save the multiverse. So of course it is going to be quite interesting to see of how all of these character dynamics are going to be working out, given everything is going to be on the line for every single universe, for in every single reality. And again, it is going to be in quite a major concept within the whole story of Doomsday and leading up to Secret Wars of course. And again, I think one of the things to talk about majorly about Magneto's Brotherhood here is that we potentially can be seeing Pietro and Wanda coming back for sure. And I would say it is not going to be a 616 Wanda, it is going to be a completely different version of a different variant of Wanda that we are going to be seeing in Avengers Doomsday. If Elizabeth Olsen is going to be coming back to that role, which I'm pretty sure that she is going to be at some point. But again, I don't think so Marvel is also going to be introducing her back within the story of the multiverse as a villain once again. They're probably gonna give her a much more needed redemption arc, and even though if it's not going to be our Wanda, she's probably going to be much more of an heroic figure that I think Marvel Studios would like to introduce her back into the story of the multiverse. Which again, at least for now, it does seems like that Deadpool and Wolverine, the universe from the Marvel sports card scene, and all of the announcement that we had with Avengers Doomsday cast announcement, all of those characters with James Marsden coming back with the Ian McKellen, Rebecca Romaine, Alan Cumming, all of these characters are going to be coming from 1005 and I think Marvel Studios is going to be tying it all in, and this is also going to be in very much of an updated version of that original X-Men universe, from that original X-Men trilogy. Of course, Marvel Studios is going to be carrying out some parts of it, certainly some parts from X-Men Days of Future Past even, but I think it is going to be very much like the X-Men animated series or X-Men 97 for that sake. I think Marvel Studios is going to be taking a lot of the clues from the animated series, from the X-Men 97 for sure. So again, I think it is going to be quite fun when we get to Doomsday, and of course moving forward we are going to be hearing a lot of stuff with what is happening. So I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.